Hi everyone, Lindsay Ford here with part 2 of our meal planning series, and today we're really going to focus on the tools that you're going to need to actually execute meal planning. So if we can kind of go back to what the idea of meal planning is, it's thinking ahead, it's planning what your meals are going to be for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and maybe preparing some things in advance to really support the day-to-day eating. So one of the first and probably the most important tool that you're going to need is a really good knife. You don't need to spend probably more than 120 bucks on it, but you do want to have something that is your everyday, it's an extension of your hand. So what I have here is a classic chef knife. This brand is called Wusthof. There's other brands out there. You can find this in a Crate and Barrel. You can find it online, Williams-Sonoma. There's different places where you can actually purchase something like this. But there's a few things that you're looking for with a solid knife. So one of the first things is there's a blade here, and you want to see that steel blade actually go through all the way through the handle. That is going to be a sturdy blade. So when you're looking at it, you will see this kind of silver lining here. This is going to be a really sturdy blade. So if I move it, I have to kind of fight to move it. Whereas blades that just end here, they will be wobbly. They're not going to be as strong. They're not going to be as durable. When you're picking out a chef knife, one thing you're going to want to do is actually put it in your hand and actually feel it. Does this feel comfortable? So there's another brand of knife or another type of knife called a Santoku, and that's going to look a little bit different where the blade's going to go down. It's going to be a little bit more, it's not going to be this curvature here. It's going to have little like indents throughout the blade. The food won't really stick. It's a little bit more lightweight. Some people might actually prefer that. If you're doing a lot of prep work, then you want something that might be a little bit lighter. This is a little bit heavier, so you want it to be comfortable. The other thing with a chef knife that you would be looking for is the length that would also be comfortable. So some can be pretty long. Is that going to work well for you? What you don't want is to use a paring knife to do all your prep work. Really, technically, all you need is one chef knife to do the majority of the work. There may be two other knives that could be helpful for you, a paring knife, maybe something with a different edging to it where it would kind of go through vegetables or bread or something a little bit differently. But this is your classic thing that you're really going to need day in, day out. You don't want to put it in the dishwasher. You always want to hand wash it. Take good care of this thing. You're going to want to sharpen it probably every week, every other week. If you're not sure how to do that, look out for a video in the future. We will do that for you and show you guys what it looks like to actually sharpen a knife. But you will want to keep it sharp, because if you're prepping, let's say, some carrots and you don't have a sharp knife and that carrot rolls around on you, the next thing you know, you may have a cut fingertip. We don't want that. So making sure you take good care of your knife. So that's the first tool, probably the most important tool. The other thing that you're going to want are cutting boards. So 3 to 4 cutting boards. You want to make sure that you're cleaning them throughout, especially if you're working with poultry or animal product. I would get a couple of them. That's going to be an important asset for you. The next thing that you're going to want is Tupperware. So if you're actually cooking things in advance, hopefully you're making enough not to last just for 1 or 2 portions. You're making things that you can either freeze leftover, or you know that you're going to bring it to work maybe 3 days from now and you already have it measured out. So these are what we use at Skyterra. They're more restaurant grade. This is a quart container, this is a cup container, and we'll use this for like soups, and we may use this for maybe individual servings of things. So individual rices, individual proteins, just things that we want in a smaller serving. These are available at any restaurant supply store. You can get them off Amazon. But I'd say for a lot of folks, if you were to get Pyrex or Snapware, that day-to-day kind of thing, that would be a really great option that you can find in a Target. You can find pretty much anywhere. The nice thing about those is you can reheat them. You can technically cook in them. Just make sure when you are cooking things in advance and you're having something hot, you want to really you want to cool it down and leave it at room temperature probably for an hour, hour and a half, so that you're not putting something hot in your fridge or in your freezer. It's going to throw off that temperature in the fridge. And you may be putting your food kind of at risk in that danger temperature zone where more bacteria can form. Other things that you're going to need: measuring cups. So if you're somebody that needs a little bit more dialing in on certain portions, then having half cups, quarter cups, full cups, liquid measuring, whatever you need to kind of tailor your nutrition plan. You could technically pre-portion things in individual containers. You could put a meal into a Tupperware and measure out the exact portions that you need. That is going to be very helpful so that when you're in the grind, when you're really busy, you can just grab and go and you know this is what I need. Another thing you could do with measuring cups is actually leave that measuring cup in whatever container you're using as a really nice reminder, hey, this is what I need. So for example, if you want to make granola, you could technically take a tablespoon and just leave it in there. So it's a nice reminder, hey, this is what I need to serve myself. If you're doing like a parfait and you're kind of grab and go, and so you're just not pouring it in. So measuring cups will be really, really helpful. There's going to be other tools that will be helpful for you when it comes to meal planning. Figure out what those things are. But just as a reminder, chef knife, Tupperware, cutting boards, and measuring scoops. And obviously you're gonna need the food too. So that's part 2 of your meal planning series, and look out for more videos to come.